Welcome to this new day. Hope you're good. So today we are going to look at price determination or price system and equilibrium price. We had already talked about demand and supply, and then we are going to look at the equilibrium price. What is equilibrium price? So lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to 1. Define the concept price system. 2. State the functions of the price system. 3. Explain the meaning of equilibrium price. 4. Explain the effects of fixing price above equilibrium. B. Fixing price below equilibrium. 5. Perform some mathematical computations on demand and supply functions. Price determination or price system in a free market. The price system can be defined as that which determines the rate at which goods and services are produced, exchanged, and distributed. The price system refers to the mechanism by which prices of goods and services guide the use of resources in a free market. Free market is when there are no restrictions that prevent buyers and sellers from entering or exiting the market. In a free market system, prices of goods and services are determined by the forces of demand and supply, what we call the invisible hand. Nobody is in control. Determined by when there should be haggle. The buyers and sellers should haggle for the prices, and then they arrive at a point. What are the functions of the price system? 1. It helps to distribute scarce productive resources among firms and private individual resource users and entrepreneurs. 2. It helps to motivate workers in terms of salaries and wages, that is higher wages. 3. It induces supply of goods and services to respond to change in demand. 4. It regulates changes in consumers' wants, that is preference and taste, from time to time. 5. It helps to identify the sector of the economy in which factors of production command highest rewards. 6. It helps to encourage the consumption of locally made goods. It also helps to determine the types, quantity and quality of goods to be produced and services to be rendered in the economy. Number 8, the price system helps to facilitate the determination of appropriate rewards to various factors of production. Example, interest rate payable on loanable funds. Next, we have determination of equilibrium price and quantity. What is equilibrium price? What is equilibrium quantity? How are they determined? The equilibrium price is that price at which the quantity of a commodity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied. Once the equilibrium price is reached, everybody is happy. The seller is happy. The buyer is happy. The seller is happy because he's able to sell all that he brought to the market. The buyer equally is happy because he or she is able to buy everything he or she demanded. So this is the price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. At equilibrium, all the buyers of a commodity buy all the quantity they want to buy, while all the sellers sell all the quantity they wanted to sell. The equilibrium quantity is that quantity which buyers are willing and able to buy is the same as the quantity which sellers are willing and able to sell. So when the quantity the buyers are willing to buy is equal to the quantity sellers are willing to sell, we call that equilibrium quantity. But the equilibrium price is the price both buyers and sellers had agreed on. Equilibrium price is the price. Equilibrium quantity is the quantity. Now once equilibrium price is reached, the quantity supplied is equal to quantity demanded. But when the price comes above the equilibrium, that means the price is now above the prevailing market price. What happens? Some people will gain and others will lose. So who gains when the price is above the equilibrium? Of course, the seller, because the price is higher for him. but the consumers will demand less above the equilibrium. So above the equilibrium, what happens? There will be excess supply. Why? That is, more of the commodity will be supplied by sellers than is demanded by consumers. Of course, this obeys the law of demand and supply, the first law, which says that the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So once the price is above the equilibrium, consumers will withdraw from buying. Many of them will buy less, while the sellers will supply more to the market. But below the equilibrium, who gains? Who is happier? The consumer. Because this equally still obeys that first law, which says that the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. But once the price is low, suppliers will supply less because they are out there to maximize profit. So below the equilibrium price, there will be excess demand. Above the equilibrium price, there will be excess supply. Below the equilibrium, there will be excess demand, meaning that consumers will demand more than is supplied by the sellers or producers. 3. Equilibrium price and quantity can be illustrated by using demand and supply schedule below. On the first column, we have price per crate of malt. Second column, we have quantity demanded. On the third column, we have quantity supplied of malt in crates. Now, when the price of a crate of malt is 100 naira, what is the quantity demanded? 6. What is the quantity supplied? Half crate. When the price increases from 100 to 200, quantity demanded decreases from 6 to 5, while the quantity supplied increased from half crate to 1 crate. As the price increases further to 300 naira, quantity demanded keeps decreasing from 5 to 4, while quantity supplied increased from 1 to 2. As the price continues to increase and increase, you can see that as price increases, quantity demanded decreases, while quantity supplied increases. This is the law of demand. All of them are obeying the law of demand, which says that the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, and the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied. So, from the above table, you can see, from the above, we drew this from the table. This one is the curve, demand equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So we have 400 naira is equilibrium price, while equilibrium quantity is 3 crates of malt. Above the equilibrium, suppliers will want to supply more because price is higher, while consumers will demand less. So because of that, we have excess supply above the equilibrium. But below the equilibrium, we have excess demand. Because below the equilibrium, the price will be low. Consumers will want to buy more. Sellers will supply less. That's why there's a wide gap between quantity demanded and quantity supplied. So below the equilibrium, we have excess demand, while above the equilibrium, we have excess supply. At the equilibrium, we have the equilibrium price to be 400 naira and the equilibrium quantity to be 3 crates of malt. Assuming the price per crate of malt falls from 400 naira to 200 naira, what happens to the quantity demanded and supplied? Of course, once the price falls, consumers will demand more, while sellers will supply less, so there will be excess demand. Quantity demanded minus quantity supplied will give you excess demand. 5 crates minus this. So this explains what we have done. Effects of fixing price above the equilibrium. Of course, fixing prices is done by the government, not necessarily not forces of demand and supply. Forces of demand and supply can determine the equilibrium price. But government can decide to fix the price above the equilibrium or below the equilibrium. If government does that, if government fixes a price above the equilibrium, why does it do so? It wants to favor a group of people at the expense of the other. And then what happens when the price is fixed above equilibrium? I had already said that once the price is fixed above equilibrium, we have excess demand. Once there will be increase in price, number 2, there will be reduced quantity demanded. Number 3, there will be increase in quantity supplied. 4, there will be excess supply or surplus. It will also lead to the emergence of black market, because once there is excess supply, the suppliers will want to start selling backyard business. That's what we mean by black market, an illegal market. Some will reduce price, at least to sell some. Now, below the equilibrium, what are the effects of fixing the price below the equilibrium? What happens when the price is fixed below the equilibrium? One is that it will lead to price decrease. 2, demand will increase. 3, supply will decrease. There will be excess demand and also the emergence of black market. So those are the equilibrium price and quantity. From the table, once you have a table, which we call the demand schedule, demand and supply schedule, you can, from that table, you draw the equilibrium price. You draw a curve. That curve is what we call the demand and supply curve. So we can also have some calculations on that demand and supply. Remember we said that, he said, there's this saying which goes that demand, teach a part of demand and supply and have made an economist of it. So let's look at demand and supply functions. Let's solve simple problems. Question 1 says, if IO's demand function is represented as follows: QD is equal to 32 minus 2 over 3P, where QD is quantity demanded, P is price. You are asked to calculate the various quantity demanded when the levels of price are 6 naira, 12 naira, 20 naira, 27 naira, and 32. Question B says, use the result in A above to draw a demand curve. C, state 5 factors that cause change in demand. We have done that, factors that cause change in demand. Now, how do we go about that? We are asked to calculate the quantity demanded. We have been given a demand function. This is called the demand function. So quantity demanded is equal to 32 minus 2 over 3P. For you to get this, how you're going to do it is that wherever you see P, remove it and substitute the values of these ones. After finishing with 6, you go to 12, 20, 27, and 32. So answers, quantity demanded is equal to 32 minus 2 over 3P, where P is 6. So wherever you see P, remove it and replace it with 6. Meaning we have quantity demanded is equal to 32 minus 2 over 3 times 6. 3 will divide itself 1, divide this 1, 2. So 2 times 2 will give you 4. 32 minus 4 will give you 28 units. When P is 12, when the price is 12, what's the quantity demanded? Quantity demanded, you substitute P here. So this one gives you 32 minus 2 over 3P, which is 12. 3 will divide itself 1, divide this one 4. 4 times 2 will give you 8. So 32 minus 8 will give you 24 units. When price is 20 naira, substitute, quantity demanded is gotten by substituting the value of P. So 32 minus 2 over 3P, which is 20. In this case, of course, 3 cannot divide 20. You multiply 20 times 2 will give you 40 over 3. 40 divided by 3 will give you 13.3. 32 minus 13.3 will give you 18.63, which is approximately 19 units. Likewise, when price is 27, you substitute. When price is 32, you substitute, and you get to the last one. Question B says, draw IO's demand curve. It says, IO's demand curve can be illustrated as follows. These ones are gotten from our calculations. The prices we are given. When the price is 6 naira, quantity demanded 28. From our calculations, when the price is 12, this one is 24. When the price is 20, this, and so on. And then from there, we are asked to illustrate it diagrammatically. When you represent this one is called demand schedule. If you represent it in a diagram, we call it demand curve. So you draw on the horizontal, on the vertical axis, you always have the price. While quantity demanded is on the horizontal axis. Now, you draw to scale. Always learn to draw to scale. Don't just draw things haphazardly. Draw to scale. Along the x-axis, along the y-axis, 1 cm stands for 5 naira in that order. But along the quantity demanded axis, the horizontal axis, 1 cm is equal to 5 units. So when the price is 6 naira, what is the quantity demanded? 28. 6 naira is slightly above 5 naira. You trace it to where you have 28, and then you mark it off. When the price increased to 12 naira, quantity demanded increased, or rather, when the price increased from 6 to 12 naira, quantity demanded decreased from 28 to 24. So 12 naira is about this. You take it here, 24. When the price increased to 20, this is 20, quantity demanded is 19. You take it across, 19 is about here. When the price increased further to 27, 27 about here, quantity demanded decreased to 14. When the price increased to 32, quantity demanded decreased further to 11. Now what do you do next? Do you leave it at that for the teacher to complete? No. So what you do is to join the pots, these points you have created, and then you label DD, meaning demand, DD. See, question says, what are the five factors that cause change in demand? These are some of the factors that cause change in demand. 1, price of other commodities. 2, consumers' taste and fashion. 3, income of the consumer. Again, we have population, that is number of consumers. Expectation of future change in price by consumers. Government policy, example taxation. Number 7, habit of the consumer. And lastly, weather condition. These are the factors affecting the demand. Another example. Given that the price and quantity supplied per period of time in liters of gasoline is expressed as QS is equal to 25 plus 0.25p, where QS stands for quantity supplied and P is the price. A question says, determine the when price per liter is 0 naira, 24 naira, 40, 60, and 80 naira. From your calculation in A, present the supply schedule. II, draw the supply curve. Just like we did in demand. Anywhere you see P, you remove it and replace it with these ones, one after the other. Now, so these are the answers. When the price is 0, quantity supplied is 25 plus 0.25 into 0. Of course, anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So 25 plus 0 will give you 0. I mean, 0.25 multiplied by 0 will give you 0. So 25 plus 0 will give you 25. Likewise, when price is 24, substitute into it, I get 31 liters. When price is 40 naira, this. When price is 60 naira, this. And then when price is 80 naira, this is quantity supplied is 25 liters of gasoline. Question B says that we should present this thing in a schedule, supply schedule. So on the first we have the price, and then the second column is quantity supplied. These are what we were given. When the price is 0, 24 naira, 40, 60, 80. From our computations, we now substitute. We now write when the price is 0, quantity supplied is this. When the price is 24, quantity supplied is this. So one thing is obvious. And what is that? You can see that as price increases, quantity supplied increases. But if the price decreases, quantity demanded decreases. Meaning that quantity supplied and price move in the same direction. We were asked to present first in a table and then we draw the graph. Look at the graph. Price is always on the vertical axis or the y-axis, while on the x-axis you have quantity supplied. So you can see that the supply curve is upward sloping, slopes upwards from the left to the right, unlike the supply curve that was downward sloping. This supply curve is positively sloped, while the demand curve is negatively sloped. Question 3. The market for apples is represented by the following demand and supply functions. Demand function, quantity demanded is equal to 30 minus P, but the supply function is QS is equal to 15 plus 2P. A. Prepare a demand and supply schedule for apples in the market, given the price $2, $4, and $7. B. Determine the equilibrium price and quantity of apples in the market. BII, if the price of apple is fixed at 3 naira, what will be the excess demand or excess supply? C. Suppose the demand function changed to QD is equal to 40 minus P. Using the prices in A, that is 247 above. So I prepare a new demand schedule. II, does it represent an increase or decrease in demand? I explain your answer in C, II above. Look at the answers. Demand and supply schedule. Just like I said, substitute these values, the values that we are given into this. Where price is $2, quantity demanded will be 30 minus P, which is 2 in this case, 28. So quantity supplied will be 15 plus 2 into the price, which is 2. That gives you 19. When the price is $4, quantity demanded will be 30 minus 4, which is 26. But quantity supplied will be 15 plus 2 into 4. 2 times 4 will give you 8. 15 plus 8 will give you 23. When the price is $7, quantity demanded will be 30 minus 7, which is 23. But quantity supplied will be 15 plus 2 into 7. 2 times 7 will give you 14. So 14 plus 15, 29. Having gotten that, we now present it because we said we were asked to present it in a demand schedule, demand and supply schedule. We use one table in representing that. The first column is the price, second column quantity demanded, and then lastly you have quantity supplied. Just from our computations, you now give your answers from what you have gotten. When the price is $2, quantity demanded is 28. At 4, quantity demanded is this. At 7, quantity demanded is this, and quantity supplied are these ones, corresponding quantity supplied. Now, we are asked to calculate the equilibrium. What is the equilibrium? At equilibrium, what happens? Quantity demanded is equal to supplied. In equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Therefore, 15 plus 2P, to calculate, if you are asked to get the equilibrium price and the equilibrium quantity, first of all, you equate the two of them. Quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Get the value of quantity demanded and equate it with the value of this. So the value of quantity demanded is 30 minus P. Value of quantity supplied is 15 plus 2P. So substitute into this value, gather like terms. 2P remains here. P comes over. If it crosses this sign of equality, changes from minus to plus. While 30 is already here, this 15 crosses over to meet its brother. And once it crosses over, the sign changes. Here it was positive. It crosses this sign, it changes to negative. So 2 plus 1 here will give us 3P. 30 minus 15 will give us 15. 3P is equal to 15. Divide both sides by 3. If you divide this number by 3, it gives you P. If you divide 15 by 3, it gives you 5. So price is, in this case, is 5. The equilibrium price is $5. For you to get the equilibrium quantity, how do you go about it? Just substitute this value, price, this P, into each of them. Substitute it both into this quantity supplied and quantity demanded. If they give you the same answer, then your equilibrium price is right. But if they vary, it means that there's a lacuna here, meaning that the equilibrium price is wrong. So let's do that. Substituting for P, which is equal to $5, we have, using the quantity demanded function, where we have QD is equal to 30 minus P. Our P is 5. So 30 minus 5 will give us 25. Or you substitute into the value, into the supply function, where we have 15 plus 2P, while P is equal to 5. So we bring down 15 plus 2 times 5 will give you 10. 10 plus 5 will give you, 10 plus 15 will give you 25. Like I said, because two of them tally, it means that our equilibrium price is right. So at equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied, you can see. So that's how to compute the equilibrium price. B says, if price is 3, assuming the price is fixed as 3, what happens? Do we have surplus? Do we have surplus or shortage? Do we have excess supply or excess demand? We will not conclude until we substitute into these two equations. Whichever is higher, if quantity demanded is higher, then our conclusion will be that we have excess supply. But if quantity demanded, supplied is higher, then our conclusion will be that we have excess supply. So let's see. If the price is fixed at 3 naira, so substitute the value of P as 3. 30 minus P, which is 3, is 27. Substitute it into this one too. This is 3. 15 plus 2 into 3, 2 times 3 will give you 6. 15 plus 6 will give you 21. So which of them is higher? Excess, we have excess demand. How do you compute excess demand? Excess demand is quantity demanded minus quantity supplied. So in this case, quantity demanded is 27, quantity supplied is 6. The excess demand is 6. C, if the demand function changes to, instead of 30, QD being 30 minus P, it is now QD equal to 40 minus P. And you are asked, using the same old prices, compute the new quantity demanded. So when the price is $2, quantity demanded will be 40 minus 2, which is 38. At $4, quantity demanded will be 40 minus 4, 36. At $7, quantity demanded will be 40 minus 7, which is 33. So we can now represent this in a table. So this is the demand schedule. The price, $2, $4, $7. When the price is $2, what is the quantity demanded? 38. When the price is 4, quantity demanded is 36. When the price still rose to 7, quantity demanded decreases to 33. It says it represents an increase. Okay, we are asked what happened. There's an increase when you consider this table and the first table. You see that there's an increase in quantity demanded. And then at the same prices, you can see that it says at the same prices, more quantities of apples are demanded. Any question? Okay, well, I hope I did justice to that. So put down these questions. The following questions are posed to the students to evaluate them on the objectives. 1. What is price system? 2. State 2 functions of the price system. 3. What is equilibrium price? 4. State 2 effects of each of 1. Fixing price above the equilibrium. 2. Fixing price below the equilibrium. Question 5. The demand and supply equations for commodity Y are represented by D is equal to 20 minus 1 over 6P, where S is equal to 18 minus 1 over 8P. Determine the equilibrium price and quantity for the commodity. Remember that D stands for quantity demanded and S stands for quantity supplied. This is a replica of what we did. So take them home and attempt them. You can copy this and compare with what you have. These are the answers as given by your teacher. You can copy them. And one tells you what the price system is. Number 3 tells you the equilibrium price and quantity. Question 4 looks at the effects of fixing the price above the equilibrium. If the price is fixed above the equilibrium, what happens? 4II says, if it is fixed below the equilibrium, what happens? So know them. They will help you. At equilibrium, this one, I've taught you that just one thing you must always know is that when you ask to calculate the equilibrium price and quantity, first of all, you tell them, at equilibrium, what happens? That quantity demanded is quantity supplied. Just write out the formula. That at equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. And then you start substituting. Wherever you see that function or that function, you put it down. Our S, quantity supplied, this is it. Gather like terms. Find the subject of the formula. And then your answer appears. So that's how to do it. End of lesson.